Now, let me just get this out of the way. Daredevil, I think, is one of my favorite characters in the MCU. You mentioned my top 10. He's right there in the middle. Heck, I can even go as far as saying he's even in my top 5 or top 3. And to me, Daredevil, the Netflix show, is my favorite Marvel show. And now that Daredevil is in the MCU, it still is my favorite Marvel show. So in this video, I'm gonna be talking about Daredevil's suits, his costume changes that he's had in the Netflix show, and of course, we recently saw She-Hulk, where he had the comic-inspired yellow suit. So without wasting any more time, let's jump into the video. Now, season 1 of the Netflix Daredevil show was just phenomenal. It opened up this character that some people knew about him. I would say Ben Affleck's 2003 Daredevil movie raised the character's popularity when it came to the mainstream media in terms of movies and all that, even though the movie wasn't, that good to begin with. When Netflix announced that a show Daredevil was coming, like, people were skeptical. They were like, why are you taking a chance on a show like that? But then again, Netflix takes chances on a number of projects that people or other studios will not have, and I commend them for that. Episode 1 came and I think it won fans over immediately, at least most of them. It did for me at least. The way Charlie Cox came and stole the show with that episode, it was just gripping. It was intense. The way they told the story, the origin story, it was just so well done. And Charlie Cox just did a wonderful job just grabbing audiences. His performance was just so amazing. And also the supporting characters did not disappoint at all. This all-black costume that we see was taking inspiration from Frank Miller's Daredevil, The Man Without Fear comics, which came out in 1993, as well as the story, because it was just so well gripping. It was darker. It showed Daredevil as a true street level fighter. Yes, he had comedic bits in it, but it did not feel forced at all. He was in all black, long sleeves, tight pants, just some ropes around his forearms and hands to add more power to his punches, also to soften blows and knife attacks and all that. As the story unfolds, we learn that it's not about the gear the hero wears, but the bravery of the person behind the mask. We got the actual Daredevil costume in the finale, and this time it was based on the red suit in the comics, which Matt Murdock got in issue 7. But this time it was more tactical, more practical, armored up to, in certain ways to help him combat, or mostly to protect him. As we saw, the mask has black eyes with a triangular shaped cut above the brows, and there's also eyelid shape going on below the eye that's less pronounced than the succeeding masks, practical and combat ready than the one that we got in the 2003 film, which went for comic accurate red tight suit. And as far as I know, people did not complain about that because it looked good on him. Now, fast forward in this successful show, season 2 came around, and there was actually 2 suits in this season and 3 different masks. Now, the first mask is the unbroken version and has mostly black face with dark red lenses in the eyes, opposed to the black lenses with the red face from season 1. Now, the second mask is the broken version, and the third mask is the upgraded one. When Matt gets his upgrades from Melvin, the suit maker, we get to see differences in the shape of the face and the color scheme. The new mask has red lenses and red face with a more bold eyelid cut. The black used in the new mask is only really used to up the red now. The red in the suit too is less, brighter than the one in season 1. Not that the one in season 1 was even brighter to begin with. The suit also prior to Melvin's upgrade has, bigger brazier-like, things around his forearm. But after the upgrade, there's no more, protective layer around that. But only his gloves have a certain padding, to it that gives it a little, bulkier look. In the Defenders show, he wore the same costume he wore in season 2. I think they did not do any much changes to it. Of course, the first time we see him with the team, he puts on Jessica Jones' scarf. And that was a funny scene.
You look like an asshole.
Your scarf.
Now in season 3, that is where I think most people saw that the show peaked, at least for some. Others may have their favorites, seasons, but I think season 3 really peaked in terms of story and in terms of character development that we've had over 2 seasons now. And in this time, he went back to, his first form, his first suit, after Kingpin made Bullseye dress up as him to, commit these different crimes to tarnish his name. But this time, him going back to the first suit that he wore in season 1, it was still different in a lot of ways. First off, the shirt, the long sleeves black black shirt that he wore was a little bit different. The pants also was different. His arms are bulkier now as he has wrapped a lot of thick ropes around them, to give more punching power and some protection as well. Even the mask, or should I say cloth he's wrapped around his head, has, a little white underline around it. This season was just all in all much darker, grittier, bloodier, more intense than the 2 seasons combined. And the 2 seasons too, were pretty crazy too, especially the second season. Now moving on to She-Hulk, Matt Murdock has changed his color palette. Of course, the suit looks almost the same, but I bet Luke Jacobson has, done some upgrades, reinforced the helmet and other things to, give him more protection and all that. So the red and yellow suit is of course inspired by the comics. The original Daredevil, he wore this before, changing to the red one in issue 7. Now in the comics, Matt Murdock made this prototype, suit out of his father's boxing materials. It was just to honor him, the man he idolized. Now, if the Netflix Daredevil show is canon to the MCU, which I think they are suggesting it is from the theme they played in the She-Hulk episode.
Are you like a superhero? Like the Gold Devil?
I'm Daredevil.
And some of the references he made about his life as a lawyer, and I think that's why he made the costume color scheme this way. Since in season 1 we saw his father wear the same type of color scheme on his last match before he died. So just like the comic version made this color scheme on his prototype suit to honor his father, to fight for the guys, the system, the corruption and all that, I think Matt also does the same, as already saw from the Netflix show. So that may be it. Even though we have not yet been given a proper explanation for why he changed his color scheme, maybe we'll find out in the Daredevil, Born Again Disney Plus show in 2024. Now, Charlie Cox will return as Daredevil again / Matt Murdock in the Echo series 2, along with Kingpin. And as reports suggest, he's going to switch up the suit again, this time for a red and black, which can go in 2 ways. In issue 321 in Daredevil comics, he donned on a heavy red and black armored suit when his red suit, original one, was destroyed in his fight with the Wild Packs. They may take inspiration from this one, or look to the Shadowland comics issue 1, which he wore a dark grey suit with red highlights on it. So all in all, it's just up to them to choose which one to take inspiration from, or just create a new one based on the ones that I've just mentioned. He's also going to appear in the Spider-Man Freshman Year animation, which is also coming on Disney Plus, and he's also wearing the same black and red suit in that show as well. And of course, to put you at ease, yes, it's also going to be voiced by Charlie Cox. So with that, look like we're going to get a couple of more new suits for Daredevil per what he said in She-Hulk.
Luke Jacobson made a couple of new suits for me, so I owed him one.
Clearly, Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige have a very big plan for this guy. I, for one, I'm just so excited that Daredevil is in the MCU. He's going to play a much bigger part than we anticipated. He's having an 18-episode series, like the first time ever. It's not even 10 or 12, 18, more than the season that we got on Netflix. And he's also going to appear in Echo before his own show. And don't know whether he's going to appear in any other projects apart from that, leading to his own show. But we for sure know that he's going to be in other projects after his own show. So I'm just so excited. And let me know in the comments below what you thought of this video, his suits, which is your favorite. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, turn on that post notification bell not to miss any other video. As always, Nedis AJ. See you guys in the next one.